Australia's obesity epidemic is about to get worse.
The country's battle of the bulge. More than 60% of Aussies are obese.
Fat shaming is a very divisive topic to talk about. But honestly, as someone who used to be very overweight, and for someone who's also recently just gained a little bit too much weight, I think it's important we talk about it. Because there's a lot of weird misinformation out there. Nike just released a mannequin, the Fat Fuck 2.0. What message does this send? I fear that more and more people who gain weight, who are overweight and impacting their health will take this as a license to not do anything about it. And that's detrimental to their health and the health of Australia's economy, because it costs a lot of money to treat people with diseases that are related to obesity. And it's okay to be anything, but what you should be doing is try to improve yourself. Because if you start thinking that, oh, it's okay, no one's allowed to fat shame me, I'm allowed to be fat, then sure, you might feel good in the short term, no doubt. But over the long term, you're gonna end up fucking dead. One bloke even recently accused Qantas Airlines by fat shaming him because they refused to seat him in an emergency exit row.
A Qantas passenger has been left deeply humiliated after he was told to move from his pre-booked exit row seat because he was, quote, too large. Tom, this man required an extension seatbelt due to the size of his waist. Now, Qantas apparently has a policy that passengers with extension belts are not permitted to sit in the exit row because it might hinder their ability to assist in the case of an emergency. Under
Australian aircraft law, you can't have someone in an exit row that is unable to assist during an emergency. The staff on hand that day made a judgment call, and I think by all means you would look at this gentleman and you would probably say they were correct. Now, he might be a super fast runner. He might be a super strong individual, but at face value, this dude may not be able to help in an emergency where people desperately need assistance. But Isaac, we know being fat's bad for us, mate. We all fucking know this. Do you? Do you really? Because what about this?
Australia's obesity epidemic is about to get worse.
The country's battle of the bulge.
Australia will be in the grip of an obesity epidemic.
We are still putting on weight.
Hi, my name's Kath Reid. I'm a fat activist.
A fat activist. Fat activist. That's an oxymoron if ever I've heard one.
In Brisbane. I blog at Fat Heffalump, where I've been blogging for about 5 years. And it's my goal to change the way people think about fatness. I believed that I couldn't do anything in life that was good until I was thin.
As someone who had that outlook at one point in their lives, you can lose weight. You know, just eat meat and veggies, cut out all the carbs, no sugars, and you will notice with a little bit of exercise on top, you will start to lose weight. It's absolute diet. The absolute number one thing when it comes to losing weight is persistence and diet. That's it.
Fat acceptance is the radical notion that fat people are human beings and deserve respect.
No one is saying that fat people aren't human. People might be saying that you're more than one human, but you're definitely a human. This whole conversation about fat acceptance, body shaming, fat shaming, all that type of shit came from one woman, and that's Tess Holliday. This is a video that she made with Vice News on one of their YouTube channels, which is hilariously named Broadly.
Tess Holliday is no stranger to being body shamed. Since the beginning of her career as a plus-size model.
Okay, there are plus-size models, no doubt. If I was a male model, right, I would be a plus-size model. I'm a weird fucking shape man. But also, there's a difference between being a plus-size model and a severely overweight, obese giant monster who is slowly killing themselves.
She's had to fend off degrading comments about her weight, her health, and her validity as a woman. But Tess's appearance on the cover of the UK Cosmopolitan magazine brought out responses that took the hate to a whole other level.
You shouldn't promote and advocate that that is acceptable.
They're hailing her as brave. I mean, what's brave about eating ice cream?
But they're right. People like her set a dangerous precedent for other people who are trying to lose weight. Regardless of your age or your fitness level, it's important to be, and I can't believe I have to say this, not obese. Here's the funny thing about Nike. They released that mannequin image. It was touted as being something amazing in the anti-fat shaming, body positivity movement. But then you look back only a few years ago, and this was Nike's advertisement.
Greatness, it's just something we made up. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it. All of us.
A young man running in a pair of Nikes to lose weight. But hang on a second. Nike, isn't it okay to be overweight? Then why is he trying to lose it? Oh, I get it. I get it now. Nike doesn't give a fuck about fat people or skinny people, fit people, any people. They're just cashing in on the culture wars. It's all just advertising. They know that they will get free coverage through the media because they look like they're being all woke and shit. And now everyone knows about Nike. They're hearing Nike. They're hearing Nike over and over and over again. And that's their advertising model right here. Nike tried to go viral and they did it. It's very, very smart. It's also heaps shitty. So what do? Do we go out of our way to fat shame people on a daily basis? Well, no, you don't want to be a horrible piece of shit, but also if someone's severely overweight, help them. Give them some ideas. Let them know what they can do. Set them in the right direction. Send them YouTube links or podcasts or something that will motivate them to lose the weight because sure, it might upset them in the short term, but it's better than fucking dying.
He said just lay off the hamburgers and french fries, and that really just disrespected me.
In 2016 in Australia, the leading cause for death was heart disease. What does that tell you? In fact, if in this country right now, everyone was at a normal weight for their height, countless chronic diseases would drop dramatically. In fact, diabetes would drop by 53%. If everyone was a healthy weight. Osteoarthritis would drop by 45% and breast cancer by 22%. Dying young or dying at all is worse than being shamed. And shit like this is not fucking helping. A body positivity camp. Fuck me sideways.
I genuinely didn't care if I was sick. I wanted to be thin.
I am sort of coming to terms with the word fat.
Coming to terms with it? You haven't been diagnosed with something. You haven't had a call from the doctor. Yeah, g'day Janelle, mate, I don't know how to tell you this. You're a big fat fuck.
You know, usually on my everyday I'm with a bunch of women who are smaller than me and they're so gorgeous and I feel uncomfortable being around them.
We're all around people that are better looking than us. Well, obviously I'm not, I'm fucking gorgeous, but it's a part of life, ladies and gentlemen. What do? All right? You just have to accept these things. Stop treating yourself as a victim, all right? Get back on top, motivate yourself, and fucking fire up, cocksucker.
The studio that I go to at home, they literally will not allow me to take my shirt off. I've tried. Other skinnier women are allowed to. They're allowed to practice in their sports bras, but when I did, they told me that I was distracting.
They've never done, you know, paddle boarding or tubing or anything like that, just because they felt uncomfortable doing it in front of straight-sized people. And
did she hang the fuck on? Did she just say straight-sized people? No. You're fat, okay? Don't create words for normal, healthy-sized people. What the fuck? Straight-sized? Fuck me dead. Ridiculous.
There we go. Totally did it. Nailed it. Wow. Oh, shit. Nope. You got it. You got it. No. Oh, shit, Daddy.
Okay, now that lady jumped in the water. Now, I'm a nice guy. I almost played that footage of, you know, the water exploding, that big viral video that, yeah, I almost played that. But I didn't. You know the one I'm talking about. And I'm not a prick, so I will not, absolutely not play that under any circumstance. The reason I brought this topic up is because I've been on both sides of the fence. When I was 21 years old, I was 135 kilos. And I was very self-conscious about my weight. I fucking hated it. I was always overweight through high school, and it meant a lot of bad things would happen. Like I never had girlfriends or any of that type of shit. But it meant a lot of good things too. I developed a personality because that's the only way I could make friends. As I got older and through a medical issue that I had with epilepsy, right? I have a form of epilepsy, if you didn't know this. It's a very rare form. All that happens is I lose control of my head like that and it stays there for a second, right? I stay completely conscious through the whole thing and now it's controlled with medication. But when I first started trying to treat it, what I did do was I started a ketogenic diet. And it worked. Now, over that time, having that keto diet involved in my life, and if you don't know, a keto diet is just basically meat and veggies, right? No carbs, higher fat, low carbs, all right? So I ate that for about 2 years and I dropped down from 135 to 94 kilos. Probably a little bit too skinny. After that time, I started to become a big deal on the YouTubes and I had an Australian tour, right? So I got on medication because I knew I couldn't eat a keto diet and stay in that healthy way where I wasn't having these problems. And over that time, I started to put more weight on. I'm not sure if it was from the medication or the obsession that I developed with McDonald's 24 nuggets for $10. It could have been a variation of both. But what happened was I started to put weight on and I found it very difficult to lose it. So I got back on the keto diet. I started training. I train at an MMA gym every single day. I do jiu-jitsu, all that type of shit. And I started to drop the weight back off. You just got to fucking work for it, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of people will tell you, oh, I can't lose weight. You can, I promise you. You really can. Don't take this video as a fucking fuck you, all right? It's not that at all. What it is saying, fuck you, come on, motherfucker, let's do it together. We can get it done, ladies and gentlemen. Don't give up on yourself. Come up with the best version of you. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me dick stinks. Toodaloo. I'm going to go eat some nuggets. Bye.